Many extraterrestrial encounters take place on the ground. But in Alaska, the skies are alive as well.
After this encounter, I definitely believe in it now.
There are barely 15,000 miles of roads in all of Alaska, but more than 365,000 miles of waterways, a network of icy rivers and creeks crisscrossing the state, nurturing its wilderness and sustaining the people who live there. One such river, the Kasilof, runs 17 miles from the Tustumena Lake, past the little beach town that bears its name, and straight into Cook Inlet. Most people know it for its massive salmon, but this waterway may be hiding a dark secret.
My name is Bruce Manley, and I live in Kasilof, Alaska. Been living here in the same house since 1979. I've lived in Alaska since 1972. I was born and raised in Virginia. Came up here when I was 19 years old. Went to work in the oil field, out in the platforms out in Cook Inlet. I did that for a few years, and then after that, I got into commercial fishing shortly after. Kasilof is a beautiful place. I fell in love with this area because I fish just downstream. Everybody loves the summers in Alaska, but the winters are quiet and peaceful. I like that.
But even in this land of epic solitude, there are ominous clues that we are not alone.
Alaska's a big place, a lot of darkness. It just stands to reason. You got a lot of outdoor people that look outdoors that you'd probably have a better chance of seeing a UFO. After this encounter, I definitely believe in it now. I was working out in Swanson River, which is an oil field about 40 miles from here. It was a 12-hour shift, just got done, got home here about 1 o'clock. I was sitting in my living room just unwinding, getting ready to go to bed, when I looked out my window and I seen these lights moving real slow. I just couldn't figure out what would be out moving around out in the dark like that. So I got up, I walked as far as closest to the river as I could. I mean, it was unbelievable.
Bruce could not believe what he saw next. Just 100 feet in front of him, hovering over the river.
It was a triangle, black triangle, about 25 feet long. The back end of it was maybe 20 feet wide. It had 3 lights, 1 light on each corner, a white, a green, and an amber. It was moving about the speed of someone walking, maybe 3 or 4 miles an hour. As it got close, I could see the lights, of course, and I noticed it wasn't making any noise. And so as it came by, it got about 25 feet from me. I felt like if I ran fast enough and jumped, I could probably jump on the thing. That's how close it was. And it just went by. It never slowed down or nothing. The same speed just passed me by. And for some reason, I don't know why, I started picking up snow and started making a snowball. And as the thing came by me, I hit it with a snowball. It just kept going, the same speed. It never slowed down, never stopped.
Bruce racked his brain for a logical explanation.
I was curious. I just had to know what the heck it was. You know, the more I thought about it, when I watched this object going down the river, it was following the open water, and I'm convinced it was checking out the river. You know, it was, well, what else would it be doing? I didn't tell too many people for a while. I mentioned to my brother, and my wife. That was it for longest time.
Then, a couple of years ago, Bruce decided he'd been silent too long.
My wife was listening to the Bird's Eye View radio show on KSRM, our local station. My wife called me and said somebody was wanting UFO stories on the radio, and I figured, what the heck? I called up Bob Bird and told him the story.
Bruce Manley called in, and he gave a compelling description of something that happened to him.
Turns out other Alaskans have encountered a triangular craft hovering close to the ground, though many of these reported UFOs moved at a faster pace than the one drifting along the Kasilof River.
My friend John Lem Everett saw a similar situation with lights racing ahead of his car and then reaching speeds that were not possible for helicopters or jets, moving vertically and horizontally instantly. Most people who want to go public with this are absolutely convinced that they saw something strange.
I'm not trying to convince anybody what I saw. You know, it happened, that's all I can say. And if they're interested in it, I'm glad to tell them about it. To some people, I can see where it'd be hard to fathom. There was something weird flying around the night. I saw what I saw, that's for sure.
It's been over 20 years since Bruce started a snowball fight with a UFO. But that strange craft is seared in his mind forever, and he'll always be waiting for its return.
This is the only experience I've had of this nature. You know, it was a new moon in December and January when this thing came down the river. That means there's no moon, and it's dark. That's when sometimes I'll stay up a little later, looking out the window, just to see if there's going to be a deja vu. There's a couple billion suns and planets in the Milky Way, and there's a couple of billion galaxies, and so I would imagine they've been coming here a long time.
The sheer variance in UFO that visit Alaska is overwhelming. Bruce saw a massive triangle hovering above, but in a town called Nanilchik, UFOs of a different kind have strafed the skies.